Divine greetings and gratitude, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If y'all are new here, my name is Cassandra. I'm a witch, author, and poet of Magic of Eden. I am so happy to have you in our sacred space. And if you guys are returning, hey family, welcome back to our sacred garden. I'm always honored, excited, and elated to be in your presence. Right now, it is currently 3:33 as I am recording this message. I'm getting started, and like I said, it's 3:33. I'm excited to be doing this reading with you because I feel like it's definitely in alignment. So the numbers that are associated with this reading are 333. And as you can see, we have cards here. We have this deck, which is, I believe it's called the Spellcaster's Tarot. And then of course we have here the Sacred Forest Oracle, and then we have the Enchanted Map Oracle, and then we also have Angels and Ancestors Oracle cards here. And I'm going to be doing a live reading. This is not a pick a deck reading. If you decide that you want to pick a deck, you can. However, this is meant to be a reading where it's meant to merge all together. I'm just doing it live. That's essentially the reason why you see these here. So I don't have really any question in mind. At first, the question was, what are the elders trying to tell you? And then for whatever reason, I was like, you know what, maybe for another time. And so I was guided to choose these decks again. So this is just going to be one of those readings where we're opening up our minds, we're opening up our hearts, and we're turning off our egos, as we always should, in order to receive the divine clarity that Spirit wants to give us each and every time we get into or immerse ourselves into a reading. So I'm hoping that this is a space of peace for you. I hope that this is a space where you can feel like you're heard, seen, where you feel like you're validated, where you feel like you're warm, where you feel like you are held. I'm setting the intention that if you are listening to this reading, that you are receiving everything that you need, that you are eating soul food, and that you are just not consuming this content, but that you are immersing yourself into divinely guided intuitive messages. And I'm setting the intention, Spirit, that you also protect us as we are immersing ourselves into this reading, and allow me to receive all the messages that I need in order to give to my soul tribe so that they can feel refilled, so that they can feel calm, peaceful, replenished, excited, warm, welcome, rejuvenated, reborn. And I also ask that you just cast a protection bubble over every single last member of our Eden Family Soul Tribe, and those that are coming in, and even those that may decide to leave. I ask that you just continue to give us the guidance that we need to help us move forward in our lives, and or help us to stand still quietly as we immerse ourselves into our inner void. That way we can receive the guidance and listen to you speak. And it is so. So we're going to start off with this deck here. Of course, I'm always going to start off with tarot because I love tarot. There are some things that are going on behind the scenes, as I've been saying to you guys for a while now. I'm preparing some things so that we can really get into what we're here to do. And there are some things that I've been kind of contemplating on that I'm not going to state that here right now. Right now, the focus really is just to give you the reading, okay? I'm hearing the word clouded, and then I'm also hearing murky, and I'm also getting a vision of a crocodile. And no, it's an alligator, actually, to be exact. It's an alligator, and it's sitting at like the bottom of this river, and the water is very murky. It is very murky, it's very dark, and it's very, I don't know why the word is like sneaky, but it almost feels like it's just quiet. But there feels like a depth. So this could be an indication that someone feels like they're at the bottom and they're not able to see things clearly right now. And I feel like someone is saying that I'm at a standstill, I don't know what to do. I'm just confused. I'm clouded, I'm in the dark. I'm not clear on what my steps are. I'm not clear on what the goal is. I don't feel like I can move forward. As I say that, we have the Knight of Wands here in reverse. I don't feel like I can move forward. That was so on time. That was the first card to come out. I don't feel like I can move forward. We're gonna go ahead and put that there. Let's move these decks up. And also, I don't know why, but I got kind of jungle vibes before I started to pull the cards. And I guess that's the reason why I decided to change up what I was the cards that I was going to use, because I was going to use completely different piles. Not piles, I'm sorry. I was going to use completely different decks, but I felt guided to just, now this deck I was going to use for sure. But anyway, why am I saying that? Because earlier when I was getting my altar set up, my baby here, my plant, wanted to, I don't know why, I felt the need to just bring her down. To bring her down here. Oh my goodness. And we have the Tower card here. We have the Ace of Pentacles here. That's coming out. We have the Empress here. I'm going to leave these cards out as well. So these are the cards that we have out so far. And then we also have here what looks to be like the 10 of Wands in reverse. So we also have the 6 of Swords in reverse. All right. So immediately I feel like I'm hearing the word breakthrough for someone, but at the same time I'm hearing that something is about to hit the fan. And this major cataclysmic breakdown is what's going to set the tone and open the pathway for whatever you are waiting for to come in. You have not reached the breaking point yet. It's actually on its way, and it's going to feel devastating for some of you guys. It's going to feel like it's for some of you, what I'm hearing is that it may make you feel unhappy, and you may not believe that you need to let this go. But Spirit is saying is that I need you to let this go for now, because it's not allowing you to pivot or move forward. You holding on to this thing or this person is going to keep you further along away from your path. And that's the reason why. And that's the reason why you're not progressing. And also, whether you want to or not, this thing is coming to an ending. So either you're going to allow yourself to move forward, or you're going to keep resisting and experience the same thing over and over again. But even with that, it almost kind of feels like what Spirit is saying is that you may not know where to go. Wow. And you also have the Wheel of Fortune. There's something that's trying to move. Like it's like I'm taking a step forward, but then I feel like I get knocked back like 10 times. I'm taking a step forward, but then I feel like I'm getting, knocked back 100 more times. This is making me feel like someone wants to set something forward in motion, but something is about to happen. This is something that's being prophesized. There is a major ending coming up in your life right now, and I feel like you have a really hard Mars placement. Your Mars may be exalted in a certain area so Mars is actually exalted in Capricorn, right? So if you don't have a Mars in Capricorn, there is a really hard square going on with Mars. And it also could definitely have to do with the fact that Mars is retrograde. Mars being a retrograde pulls us back and makes us think, okay, what is it that I need to be, like, what do I need to do, and how can I do this with more maturity? There's something about you being able to move more with maturity and that's the reason why you feel, or not that you feel, but that's the reason why you're at a standstill right now, because you need to learn how to move with more maturity. And I feel that the fact that Mars is retrograde, this means that there are some things that are still happening underneath our feet is what I'm hearing, but also it's happening where we can't see it, but it's still happening, and we can't see it, but we can kind of feel the rumbling. We can feel the buildup of energy, and I feel like that buildup of energy is about to come. It's about to get so intense, but that by the time this eruption happens, it's going to shake everything up. Mars has not been able to do the things that it wants to do. Divine Masculine has not been able to do what it's been wanting to do. And because of that, it feels repressed, or it feels like the attention is in so many different things, and it's hard for this energy to move forward. When Mars goes direct, I'm feeling, and I really have this feeling that there's going to be something that's going to hit the fan, and that's it's going to cause everything to fall apart. But then that's when the opportunity comes for the breakthrough. Like, I cannot help but feel that this Ace of Pentacles is Spirit reminding you that even though there are some things that are happening outside of your control, even though there are things happening out of your control, it does not mean that you won't be able to experience the best of your life. Allow these things to happen, because there's some type of opportunity that you do have coming to you. I don't know why, but I'm hearing Spirit say that I want you to be more open. I want you to be more flexible. I want you to be a bit more passive on this one. And the reason is because you're not meant to take action right now, per se. And the reason is because the conditions are not suitable for you to take full action right now. You can take baby steps right now. You can still put a little bit here, put a little bit there, but that does not mean that you're not going to receive it. Spirit is, what I'm hearing is that Spirit is wanting you to learn how to pace yourself, because when you pace yourself and you focus on this and you focus on that, one thing at a time, and when you need to, then that basically means that you're setting yourself up for more success versus plunging directly ahead into things instead of rushing into things. You'll have more success or fulfillment if you pace yourself versus fully jumping in, not knowing what you're doing. And that's the reason why Spirit is saying is that I want you to take this time right now to build. I want you to take this time right now to learn yourself, to learn your craft, to learn your audience, to learn your partner, to learn your kids, to learn whatever it is. You right now are in the process of learning, and that's the reason why Spirit is saying is that you're at a standstill right now. I need you right where you are right now, because if you were to move prematurely, you are going to get into something that I'm trying to help you, that I'm trying to protect you from. You asked for my protection. I'm protecting you by helping you, by slowing you down. You gave me permission to slow you down, but that does not mean that you won't be fortunate, that you won't get your pot of gold, or that you won't see the gold at the end of the rainbow, if that makes sense. Where does your part of fortune sit? Look at your part of fortune in your natal chart. And that's so interesting that that's coming through, because you have the Wheel of Fortune here. The Wheel of Fortune always does normally point to fated events. It's also the card of Jupiter. So this is where we learn these life cycles and we put wisdom from what we're going through in life. It's not just about the money. It's not only about the wealth. It's a major part of it. But what are you learning on your path to establishing wealth for yourself? What are you learning about yourself, about the world, about the way that money works, or the way that these systems work, right? What are you learning? And for whatever reason, Jupiter's blessing is here with you. I feel one thing that I want to tell you guys is that you can absolutely work with the planets by working your magic using candles and things of that nature. And what I also want to say too is that you can pull wisdom directly from these planets. You don't have to always wait for the moon phases. Although I love to do that, that does not mean that you have to do that. Some witches or some, whoever, right? Some people, practitioners, don't too much always work with the full moons or new moons. They work their magic when they feel that they need to, and sometimes that means working your magic on a Wednesday when there is a waxing moon or whatever, and that means sometimes working directly with Mercury or working directly with Mars, right? I feel that the best wisdom that I can give right now is to learn to work with these planets. As a matter of fact, I want you guys to, do I have a candle here? I don't think I have a candle that's ready right now, but as a matter of fact, hang on one second, you guys. I'm going to show you something real quick. Okay, what you guys heard was me grabbing a candle. I'm sorry, I hope that wasn't too loud. So essentially what I mean is that you can actually use candles and candle magic to work with these planets, right? So example, let's just say if you wanted to work with Jupiter, what I would recommend is, if you love candles, right? If you love using candles, you take a color of a candle that is associated with Jupiter. In this case, I have purple. And what you want to do is you want to take a look at your natal chart to see where Jupiter falls. And you want to see, okay, what wisdom am I pulling from Jupiter in this sector of my life? But then you also want to look to see where Jupiter is currently transiting your chart and how it's affecting you in your life at the moment. Now, what I would do is I would take my natal chart and I would say, okay, Jupiter, let's just say it sits in my baby's in here. Give me 1 second. Hi, baby. What's the matter? Okay, 1 second. 1 second. Hang on. I apologize about that, you guys. I had to stop because my 3-year-old had came in here, as you guys heard, and I had to stop to tend to him because he was needing something, of course. But right now, he's with dad, and he's with his stepdad, and he's going to take a nap. So, anyway, I can't remember exactly where I left off, but I remember it was something about working with Jupiter and working with the planets directly in order to draw wisdom to help us at the times of our lives. And I was using Jupiter as an example. Now, say I have this purple candle, right? And I believe that I have already explained to you guys like the progression, like looking at to see, well, not progression, but looking to see where Jupiter is currently transiting and what impact Jupiter is having on your life at that time, right? So Jupiter may be in your, let's just say, fourth house of family and roots and things of that nature, right? Or, Jupiter may be in your 10th house, which deals with career and public reputation and things of that nature, right? And dealing with the public and your legacy and things of that nature, right? And now let's just say, for example, if Jupiter was retrograde. Well, Jupiter being retrograde, that means that you have to go back and rethink about the bigger picture. Like, think about what you're doing and why, and think about how you can add more philosophy, how you can learn, and how you can really prioritize the more of like the learning aspect and the more spiritual aspect in these different endeavors and things like that. Now, I'm not going to get too deeply into that right now. I'm only using it as an example. Now, say you wanted to draw wisdom from Jupiter at that time in your life. What you do is you take a candle, a purple candle, and then you would choose herbs and oils and essences that are relevant to that time in your life right now, and also that you can use for Jupiter. For example, one dried flower that you can use is honeysuckle, because honeysuckle definitely is ruled by Jupiter, right? So it just kind of all depends on what you are needing at that time. But anyways, the reason why I'm mentioning this is that you can pull wisdom from these planets, and you can create a candle and actually place the candle that you fix at the altar that is dedicated to said planet, right? But the magic and the ritual doesn't stop there. What you do is you take that energy even further by working your magic, let's just say on a Thursday. Wearing purple or indigo on a Thursday, right? You can do things that Jupiter loves. Listen to classical music, right? You can read poetry, read books on law, read books on politics, read books on spirituality, because what you do is you're taking the wisdom of that planet and you're allowing that energy to permeate all throughout your life at that time, so that you can learn and, like I said, pull wisdom from that you can take throughout and apply throughout every aspect of your life. If you want me to go into that in another video, let me know down in the comment section. You can actually go ahead and still listen to me speak and do the reading, and still comment right now as the video is going on if you wish. But anyway, that's essentially what I wanted to say to y'all. So anyways, going back into the reading, right? Now, I'm hearing Spirit say that there is a refusal to leave something behind, or there is a refusal to not do something. But the reason why you're afraid of leaving or not doing it is because for some of you, it's not even really more of like a fear, it's more of a habit. For others of you, it is definitely a fear where you feel like if you leave this thing behind, that somehow you won't prosper, that if you keep going and moving in this direction or doing this said thing, that somehow eventually it's going to give you a big break. Yeah, you definitely could be right, but there's also something else that you could be doing, which is the reason why Spirit right now is wanting you to just kind of sit for a while. Now, you can still be taking baby steps, and wow, that's so interesting. And the reason why Spirit is wanting you to do that is because what Spirit is saying is that I want you to get more creative, and I want you to tap more into your creative aspect and your more artsy aspect for some of you. And it's interesting the fact that we do have the Page of Cups that is at the bottom of the deck here. Page of Cups definitely is the poet. I love to think about the Page of Cups as the poet. It's the one that uses its words to express its feelings and things like that. It's like this, I want to say puppy love, but it's the most innocent love, right? And I also feel like with the Page of Cups here, Spirit is really wanting you to be naked with yourself, to be honest with yourself about where you are in life, to be honest about the things that you feel, to be honest about the emotional attachment that you may have to these things, if you do. I also feel that with this Page of Cups here, there definitely could be a new artistic endeavor that you may be embarking on. Spirit is wanting you to add more art to your work. Spirit is wanting you to actually take time to create art, not for the sake of working, but for the sake of enjoyment. And that's something that is coming through heavily for some of y'all. It's interesting that these things are coming through, because I feel like with the Page of Cups here being underneath the Empress, is that what you're receiving and what you're wanting is this energy that is just so abundant and full of love and inspiration and romance, possibly. I mean, some of you guys may find yourself distracted or distracting yourselves because there's so much to do. There's too much adulting going on and you're looking for an escape. I feel like for some of you, Spirit is saying is that there is no way for you to escape this, because if you continue to do so, all you're doing, you're just building a higher tower, and the harder you're going to fall by you continuously escaping. Now, there definitely is a need for escapism, and I say that because for some of you guys, you're just having a lot of trouble. You're just having trouble, which I get it, you guys. Like, I get it. It's a lot to be dealing with, especially for some of you, you're dealing with it by yourself. And so I completely empathize with you. You do have the Hangman here, which lets me know that, again, your hands are tied and you are definitely hung up, and you're just like, you know what? Like, I don't know what to do. This is a space where you are in a prime space of surrender right now. And no matter how hard you try to fight this, this is a prophecy. Like, this is prophecy. You guys, honestly, I feel like Spirit is reminding us right now to really get into understanding that life itself is so magical. We are the magic in life, and we also make life happen. We are the magic that makes life happen as well. And I feel like we are remembering that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And so Spirit is asking you, what do you deny the Spirit, and why do you punish your spirit for the sake of this thing? Like, why punish your spirit? Why punish yourself? Why punish yourself as a soul when there's so much more that you could be experiencing if you were to allow the light to shine through, if you were to allow yourself to immerse in your creativity? Like, art is such a beautiful thing, because art is God. Like, God is art, you know? And I feel like with the Hangman coming out here, this is Spirit's reminder of, even though you may feel that things are happening out of your control, this is truly divine. And I really want you to get into this element of surrender. The Hangman here is saying, you know what, I'm keeping my hands out of it because I know that eventually I will awaken again. Some of you guys are awakening as a result of going through this process. I feel that you guys may be feeling as though the abundance is not there, but it's on its way. There are some things right now I will say that yes, they definitely are falling out of your life and you can't see. Some of you guys are dealing with blurred vision. Yeah, this is blurred vision for some of you. I'm feeling like there definitely is something being activated. I feel like it's definitely going to happen at the end of this month. I believe that Mars goes direct. I believe it's February 23rd, if I'm not mistaken. There's a major eruption that's happening. Okay, the card that flew out was Flow. Speaking of magic, the magic card is here. Okay, and Freedom is also here. Okay, these cards wanted to come out. Oh, wow. Speaking of uncertainty, Love, Change, and Uncertainty is also here coming out. I feel the presence of something very green. Dark leafy greens. I'm tasting kale. Like dinosaur kale and like the purple kale. Like those are the specific kales that I'm seeing. I'm seeing Swiss chard. I'm seeing beets. I'm seeing like really dark leafy greens and also dark root vegetables like beets, of course. There's something about eating more of these items that can help you with the blood and that can help you to ground. Actually, beets is a beautiful superfood that can help you ground. Any type of vegetables that grow directly under the ground, roots, right, they help you to ground. So I would definitely say carrots. For some of you, definitely potatoes. For some of you, it's beets, right? And I'm also hearing something about radishes too. And I feel like there's something, Spirit is wanting you to ground and also spend time in nature as well. Connect to nature, because when you go out into nature, whether it be raining or whatever, I feel like Spirit says there is no excuse. Not unless there's like a hurricane or something. Why are you denying yourself nature? And I feel like that is where you'll start to really get back into the flow of freedom. You'll start to get back into the flow and do the things that you love. Spending time near nature, or in nature actually, and let that be what inspires your next artistic pursuit or your next artistic piece. There's something about art that Spirit is wanting y'all to do. Spirit is wanting you to add the element of art, not just for work, but also for enjoyment. Because Spirit is saying, like, I don't want you to take this and then make it so systematic, or have this idea that it has to be just work, and work, and work, and work. I'm talking to a workaholic more than likely, or I'm talking to somebody that has really strong Capricorn energy to them. And you don't have to be a Capricorn, but you can possibly have a very strong Capricorn placement. Maybe Capricorn is your sun, maybe it's your sun, your moon, your rising, your Venus. Like, it insert where Capricorn is. There is this systematic way of doing things. I feel like Spirit is wanting you to enjoy, but also if you feel like you're in a space where you can't enjoy because of your circumstances, Spirit is saying to allow art to be your outlet, because eventually you're going to end up sharing that, and that very thing that you were sharing, that you did when you were at that moment, is going to be what makes the biggest change for you. That's so interesting, because we do have change here, Dragonfly Spirit. I feel like you are having like these little sparks of light in the darkness. Like, that's what I'm feeling here. You ever go to like a park and it's getting dark and you see the fireflies kind of lighting up on different parts of the park, and you're just like, wow, that's so beautiful? That's the vibe that I'm getting. Even though this is not a firefly, this is a dragonfly, I'm seeing fireflies. Like, that's so interesting. And I feel like Spirit is lighting the way of lighting you through this time. The uncertainty here is bringing me to the Three of Wands in reverse, where sometimes we don't see things very clearly, and it's because we can't see them clearly, yes, and because of that, at times there is this element of anxiety that we feel because we're not sure what's to come. But I feel like that's our body's way of saying, I feel like I'm in danger here. It's alerting your mind, saying, hey, there's something coming. Hey, there's something going on. Hey, I can't help this. I can't fight it. I'm ready to run. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to, whatever, fight or flight. But Spirit is saying is that I really want you to sit and meditate, because I want you to get out of this element of fear, because I'm protecting you, and I see it. Like, I see it. I see this. And I want you to feel empowered right now. And even if you feel right now that you're just not feeling empowered, I want you to know that no matter what, you guys, we are going to be more than okay. No, I'm not giving you false hope. I know that there are things that we go through in our own lives that we don't speak about, but I do. Oh, wow. Look at that. Stillness is at the bottom of the deck. Can you guys see that? Stillness. Yep. That was right on time. Being still to hear the water flow. That's so interesting. Times are 100% uncertain. And that's because of like all these transits, these planets. Okay, that part wanted to come out. What is this? Heal the ouch. Fell out as I was trying to shuffle. So that's a message in itself. Some of you guys definitely need to be prioritizing your healing as well, because you don't want to take that unhealed energy into your work and then infect it. Does that make sense? At the same time, you can definitely still be healing and still be thriving in work. Does that make sense? But also, Spirit is saying there's this idea of work that I'm kind of getting tired of. And Spirit is saying that it's no longer about work. This is about purpose. Wow. Thank you, Spirit, for that correction. It's not about work. It's about purpose. What is your purpose? The thing, what we're going through right now, you guys, is we are pivoting from work to purpose. And I feel like what Spirit is saying is that you living your purpose is what's going to bring the wealth to you. We have to change our mindset from work to purpose. That is, wow, that was so clear. Oh my goodness. Wow. You guys, that felt so good to hear. That felt so good to hear. And it's no wonder why people are having such a hard time. It's not because they can't find work. It's because they're not living in their purpose. That's the reason why we're having such a hard time right now. Well, for some people. right? Like, I feel like some people are just like, yo, like, I'm just so tired of all these things happening in my life, and I feel like nothing's moving. Follow the leader. You are being guided right now. You're being shown something. Spirit, can you please explain this further? Speaking of listening, that's the reason why we heard meditation, that word meditation. The beautiful thing about this is the fact that we have here an elephant, and elephants are very wise mammals. They can be very territorial, yes, but in this instance, it's listening. The word is honor. The word is listening. The word is spirit. I am surrendering to you. I am bowing to you now because I know that it is through your majesty, your majestic essence, that I too am divine, because I am you, and I'm asking you now to guide me through this time now. I am obedient to what my purpose is, and I am obedient to my higher self, and therefore, spirit, I am obedient to you because I know that you know the way for me. So please help me to guide my footsteps and be the leader that leads me to healing. I ask that you please bring someone into my life right now, spirit, that can help me move along the right path. Help me to listen more, spirit. Help me to trust in my own inner knowing, because if I am listening to you, then that means that I know what is also best, and what is best for me is listening to the guidance that you are giving me, spirit. And I love you, and I appreciate love you. I felt the need to say that. And this is such a beautiful thing because wow. Okay, moonlight. Talk about moonlight and magic here. You have moonlight here, and this is definitely connecting me to magic. We do have a full moon in Leo happening, right? And this is definitely a time where you can work your magic at this moment, at this time. I'm going to be doing some things behind the scenes, and my magic is not going to be as dramatic, but the magic that I did today, mine was kitchen magic actually. I ended up doing a different recipe. I actually ended up using curry and using turmeric. And I also used other things like chili oil and sesame oil and a little bit of grapeseed. And I also used, what was that? Yeah, that's pretty much it. And I used some Old Bay, some other seasonings, but the main one was curry and also turmeric. And it's so interesting because I was like, wow, like, why am I using this? I've been putting turmeric in my tea a lot lately. And that's, you know, to help with blood sugars and things of that nature. But I'm saying that because the magic doesn't have to be at the altar. The magic can be in your kitchen. The magic can be in your journal. It could be the things that you write. It could be whatever, right? Whatever it looks like to you. But I feel that spirit is asking you to follow your gut, but also listen. And if your intuition if you're having trouble with your intuition right now, that is the reason why spirit is saying is I need you to listen. Yes, metamorphosis is also here. I'm telling you now that something is going to hit the fan. Something dramatic is going to happen, and it's going to bring the most clarity to you. And some of you, it may piss you off. Allow it to, because where there is anger, there is a way for you to leave and move and pivot. Because you are not going to stay in a place that pisses you off, right? And if you are, then spirit is saying is that I want you to pay more attention to your self-esteem. Because if you're staying in a place where you know that it keeps, you know, bothering you, it's messing with your health, to pay attention to your self-esteem. Because why do you stay? I don't know why I'm hearing make them miss you. And it's not even about like you making them miss you. It's about you just simply being in your own essence and being in your divine femininity, and you being in this aspect of you, because you being in that, it's going to make them rethink how they're treating you. That was a message for someone that almost came off as like a little random, but nothing is ever random, okay? That's this Empress here. Take care of yourself. What do you need right now? Right now I'm hearing I need a bubble bath. I'm here for it. Spirit, what other messages do you have for us at this time, at this moment? This was such a beautiful reading. I know that times seem really uncertain right now, you guys, and we are all in this together. We are all in this together. Okay. Oh. Wow, as I say that we are all in this together, you are not alone. Guardian angel, you are not alone. That's so beautiful. Wow, as I said that, like that, you are not alone. Someone needs to know that they are seen and that spirit is with them. Yes, spirit is with you. Spirit has always been with you. And I know that that sounds like really cliche, but I feel the fact that when this card came out, there's this idea of connection and connecting with your community, connecting with your friends, connecting with your loved ones, and you utilizing that time in order to heal. Like you spending time in healing with a group of people, not always like by yourself, but you spending time with community. Oh, look at this. Heart guardian, love and let yourself be loved. I feel that someone right now just needs a hug. You know, like, I just feel like you need a hug. I feel like some of you are like, you know what? Times are just so hard right now. Like, I can't. I'm just tired. I feel like a hug, and this could be my Taurus rising talking, some good food. Some good food, you know, like a potluck. I don't know why I'm hearing like a potluck. Gather around with your friends. Gather around. Oracle, wait for important information. Right. This is bringing me to the Knight of Wands in reverse. Spirit is teaching you how to wait. Spirit, are there any other messages that you have for us today? Right, the Eagle, see from a higher perspective. This is bringing me to the Wheel of Fortune. Think about the Wheel of Fortune as like a Ferris wheel. And then the higher you go, the more you see. But the lower you go, the less you see. Oh my God, the Ferris wheel, that was so clear. Let me run it back. Spirit, please let me know this. Let me know this. The higher you go, the more you see. The lower you go, the less you see. You guys, Spirit is always speaking so clearly. Do y'all feel that? It's always so clear. It's beautiful. Like, I just love it. Like, oh my goodness. This is a high vibrational reading. I know the cards are kind of like everywhere and like a mess, but sometimes life is a mess and that's the beauty of it all. There is so much art in the mess. It's kind of like that one art piece that you see where people are just kind of splattering the paint all over the canvas. And you're just like, what is going to come of this? And it's like, just wait. Just wait. Wait for important information. Trust the process. This is literally the epitome of like trusting the process. Like, I cannot make this up. Trust the process. This hangman is like, just trust. And you're like, I don't have anything else to do. Like, what else do I have to lose at this point? You know what I mean? Well, for some of you it's a lot, but still, like, you know what I mean? It's like, what do I have left to lose? Like, I don't want to lose myself in the process. Like, what else do I have to do? And I'm looking out of my window and I'm seeing the trees across from me over by the neighbor's house. And this tree is very tall. I don't know what kind of tree it is, but the trees are barren pretty much. Like, there's a few leaves on the tree right here in our front yard, but then there's trees over there. So anyways, so there's no leaves there, at least not from what I can tell. And I'm seeing the branches, and the branches are forming an eye. And in this eye, I feel like like spirit is like watching, like peering into me. Like, I feel like this energy is like all seeing, and it sees everything. The funny thing about that is that this is bringing me to the all seeing eye, to that pyramid. And only in this eye, in this pyramid, the eye is not, the top of the pyramid is not detached. It's actually intact. And I'm seeing this eye, you know, it's right there at the top in this triangle. And this is where Spirit is saying, this is the formation. I'm seeing into this. This is divine. This is a prophecy. I need you to get out of the mundane, and I need you to get into your mind. I need you to get into this more higher version of you, because that's exactly what's going to be shown here. You are being shown how to properly walk as your higher self right now. We are still technically in winter. And I feel like Spirit is saying is that this is the reason why things are still. But come the spring equinox, watch how things start to take off. And or once Mars goes direct, just mark my words, you're going to have an illuminating moment. some of you guys are going to have an awakening or some sort. Okay, Spirit. Stay rooted and grounded. Okay, weren't we talking about grounding? And we were talking about like Taurus, like my Taurus rising, of course, and we're talking about beets and carrots and things like that, root vegetables. Earth Guardian, stay rooted and grounded. I would have definitely made this being a lot more brown, but whatever, you know, no disrespect to the person that created it. I guess that's just how I see it. And it's so interesting because I feel like Spirit, even with that, it's like still be open to other perspectives, because you may see things a certain way, but that does not mean that that is a vision that must play out. Does that make sense? You don't have to attach yourself to every thought that you have. You don't have to attach yourself really to anything. Just allow things to come through and you move according to what is divine. I am loving that, Spirit. Are there any other messages that you have for us right now? Or is that all? Okay. Talk about winter. Come on. The vibes. Take care of your needs. Listen here, okay? I feel like the fact that we have winter here, this is Spirit's way of saying that things are at a standstill. This is the reason why I need you to focus. I need you to work on your healing. The fact that things are at a standstill, this is the perfect time for you to be in that hermit mode, doing the inner work. That's what you could be doing. Listening to, and it's so funny that I'm saying that because you're listening to this message, right? But even after this video, maybe you want to go into hermit mode and be like, you know what? I just want to go inward. Or maybe you're coming out of hermit mode, right? And you're still in this place where now you're out of hermit mode and now you're resting. Like, that's so beautiful. And then you have the high priest here, intend to create. This is the perfect time for you to get your things down, written down, and start making a plan. And then shed old skin. This is the year of the snake. It's all coming to an end, babe. Embrace it. It's coming to an end, and you can't do nothing to stop it. It is happening. It's coming to an end. Unless you want to keep reliving the same hell over and over again, something has to change. And something is going to change. I love you guys. It has been amazing. It has been, oh my God. I was about to leave, and look what I found on my desk. Shield Maiden, make plans and focus. The messages are always divine. And I think I really do love doing these readings like with no cards pulled, because I feel like you guys are seeing this in like real time, like, you know. Anyways, I have had a beautiful time with you all, and I'm just so glad that you spent time with me here today. If you all need anything from me, please feel free to visit me online at CassandraTurner.com. If you all want to, you can follow along with me on Instagram over at Magic of Eden. Thank you all so much for spending time with me here tonight. If there is nothing else, I will catch you in my next video.